What's going on, everyone? IBG here, Coach Usage is back. Been a long time since I've been here. Um, this time I'll be explaining the season 4 or my season 4 draft picks. Before I do, I'm going to explain a few things. The reason why I haven't been uploading is due to school. It's been an absolute mayhem, or it had been an absolute mayhem for me during the time. That's why I had stopped and ended away from YouTube. Also because a bunch of the showdown replays at a certain point in time were down, so I was not able to record during that time. And then also, I just basically haven't been able to have time to record since then. But and also due to the fact that I was in another league, so I wasn't able to record other things. And another thing is that to explain the other battles that happened that I didn't record, um, week 7 was it? Was the last battle I had to do for the main season. For week 9, I battled Ren, I believe, who I did manage to pick up a win against, and my 10th week 10 battle, I cannot remember who it was against, but I believe I won that match. And week 7, who I did battle against, Alex, he was not able to battle, so I battled somebody else in his place, and I was able to win that match. So I was able to advance to playoffs, but I did not make a bye week. So I had to take on the first week, aka the quarterfinals. And even then, as the quarterfinals hit, I had to battle Krabby, which I did end up losing that match. I believe all those replays are saved, so if you want to go check it out, my showdown name's right up here. I use these for all my battles, league battles, or any sort of things. So if you just want to go check those out, you can go right ahead. But enough with that. Let's explain the season 4 draft picks. Now, I decided to go with what I wanted to do, and I was luckily able to get the 2 Pokemon I wanted to build around. So I was so happy, but in the later picks, I did not get to choose exactly what I wanted. So it was a little bit of a different Pokemon. Oh, that's the wrong. Okay, this is the other draft league, mind you. So this, we won't pay attention to this folder. We'll only be paying attention to the WPCL folder. 2 different folders that I have set up. Okay, all the way down to week 4. Oops. I'm gonna pause right here. Sorry about that. Just a little minor minor problem to be done. Anyways, the first Pokemon I ended up drafting was Magearna. Here we have nicknames all for the Pokemon. There was not a single Pokemon that I have redrafted. I decided to go and change it up and not be a whole new team, different Pokemon, different names. The other Pokemon I have used before, but or at least some of these I have used before in like Draft League or just in general. But I decided to get different Pokemon. Anyways, first up we have Pocket Heavy Magearna. This is one of the Pokemon that I wanted. The other Pokemon was another Pokemon right next after it that I wanted to get. Mainly I got a bit Magearna is because I wanted it last season. And right off the bat, first pick overall, Magearna was chosen, sadly, and I wanted it. So I decided to change up my strategy mid-draft and went for something else. So now I am able to pick up Magearna and use it fully. Something I did like about Magearna, it had a wide bootful, Aura Sphere, Energy Ball, Flash Cannon, Floor Cannon, Focus Blast, a stronger Aura Sphere. I can take advantage with that with the Fighting Z and do a whole bunch of damage with all up Hemling. I do get Ice Beam and Thunderbolt, so I can do a Bolt Beam set. I have Shadow Ball for coverage, Signal Beam. Shift Gear is mainly for a sweeping set. I can put that up with Iron Head that it does get, and it also gets Zen Headbutt. Does not get any sort of very physical move, because do you expect this thing to have like Play Rough? I wouldn't think so. Finally, this thing gets Explosion. It also gets Calm Mind, and with that special attack and special defense, nothing on the special side would want to stay in on this thing or would want to damage this thing. Like I said before, you can run Assault Vest. You can run Specs. Scarf is a little bit tricky because it does have that base 65 special, or speed, I mean. So I don't mainly expect to run a Scarf Magirna. And you can put a Z move behind this thing, power up that floor cannon, maybe flash cannon. And people like to run Focus Blast and Fighting Bleed. I do see where they're coming from with that set because it's a coverage move and that will do a lot of damage. And we move on. Next up, we have Jet the Latios, part 2 of the draft that I wanted on this team, and I finally got. So I was able to grab it. One thing I like about Latios, aside from it being like one of my favorite OU Pokemon right behind Garchomp, it has a base stat, special attack 130. Magearna has 130 as well, so they basically counteract each other as special attackers. People sleep on these, don't know about these two pairings because one, there are other Pokemon that can work Magearna. There are other Pokemon that play well in the OU tier, but people don't see these two as a pairing. Luckily, I do see these two and know how to play well with these two. Base 130 special attack, 110 speed, and an okay base 90 attack stat. So if I want to, I can run physical if I want to. Not saying I will, but it's a possibility. Most of the time, you're seeing Scarf. You probably won't see Specs Latios as often, but you definitely see like Scarf Latios or Life Latios. Or you can see him with like a Z move, same as Magearna. And common moves you mainly see on this thing would be like Draco, Meteor. Sometimes people like run Dragon Pulse since they don't want to miss a Draco. You see Psyshock. Sometimes people run Psychic. And you have coverage moves like Surf, Thunderbolt. Jesus. Reason why this is so much trouble is because I do not have a mouse for this thing. The mouse is completely gone. You get Ice Beam, Energy Ball. You can have physical coverage moves like Earthquake, then Headbutt, Dragon Claw, moves like that. But it's whatever. I mainly wanted these two throughout the whole draft, and luckily I was able to get them. And whenever I saw Magearna, I knew that East wouldn't be able to pick up Latios because Magearna was basically the only thing that other people would have gone for, and that was a great thing. Next up, we have Sanchez the Weavile. Picks up this thing because I wanted something fast, physical, know how to tear through a team. This thing mainly has, like I said, one thing is to break down team on the physical side, be very fast, has very few coverage moves that are outside of a stab. It's knockoff, Ice Punch, Ice Shard, Ice Crash, those moves that you commonly see. I think it gets Pursuit. Yes, it does. Does not get Sucker Punch, sadly. Which, if it did, I expect this thing to not be an OU. It does get Low Kick to battle against those Steel Rock Pokemon that stand in its way. It gets X-Scissor, which I don't expect to use it as much, but it does get Taunt, which prevents Pokemon from sending out like Swords Dance, Calm Mind, other things like that. Which I am glad that I have Weavile to do that because it's able to come in, click Taunt, and be able to outspeed and be able to prevent it from setting up and then hit it with something, whether it knocks it out or I can have somebody else come in and do that job. Next up, we have Bolt, my Mega for the draft. Rule about Megas is you do not have to Mega Evolve turn 1, so the good thing is that I have Lightning Rod, so I have Electric Immunity on this team before I Mega Evolve, and I have Intimidate, so all those physical Pokemon do not stand a real good chance against the rest of my team if their attack is dropped. And I do like about Mega Manectric. It's basically is my favorite Mega Pokemon. Whenever Megas were introduced, I saw this thing, I was like, oh my gosh. Fast special attacker, fast speed stat, very fast. I basically got all the fast Pokemon in the OU tier, or in the higher tiers. Base 110 for Latios, base 125 for Sanchez, and base 135 for Manectric. You won't see any different sets on this thing. You see like Thunderbolt, Volt Swish, maybe Overheat or Flamethrower. because you'll have like a fire move for like grass types that come in the way, and then you have like HV Ice because of ground types. You'd probably run HV Ice, HV Grass, either one of those two moves you'd see, and you'd probably see like Signal Beam. You won't see any other set, but you could run any different set, like maybe Thunder Wave, Toxic, just to see a Pokemon come in. But it's definitely good to have main electric because it's just like that fast electric type that you need. A Pokemon that can intimidate, weaken those physical Pokemon, and be able to switch in and out with that Volt Switch, which is why I love Mega Man Electric. Next up we have 6 seconds of Suicune. Peep the name. Suicune was originally not going to be on the team, but I had picked it up because it was one of the few water types within the UU tier. I think I had wanted. Who was it? I can't remember. I think I was gonna grab like a lower tier water type, but I was like, no, I probably should not do that. And I saw Suicune was available, so I just picked it up. I was like, oh. So I have Suicune here. Um, a lot of the times you'll see like Suicune as a bulkier set. Very few times you'll see it offensively, but it does get like really good moves. Hydro Pump, Scald, Ice Beam. It does get extra sensory as a coverage move. Shadow Ball, Signal Beam. It does get Surf. It's like basically if you don't want to, if you basically go for damage but still want to keep the accuracy, you have Surf. Scald if you want that chance of burning, and then Hydro Pump is for damage, but you don't get that chance of hitting. And surprisingly, that I did not know, you can actually have Extreme Speed on this Suicune. It does not take. It took me a while to realize that this thing gets Extreme Speed because I think all the um the 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 legendary beasts get Extreme Speed, I believe, and that was something I did not know. Gets Calm Mind. You could set up, and what's left over is maybe be behind the sub, have Protect, or just be straight up Calm Mind and then have 3 coverage moves with that. And also gets Air Slash, so if I see a grass type and I would just want to straight up flinch it, there's Air Slash right there instead of Ice Beam. This thing is really bulky. Base 115 defense stats on both sides. Base 9 special attacks is really not that bad. You see it, base 85 speeds, somewhere good around. Able to outspeed those base 80 Pokemon that run around the team, and base 100 HP, definitely a bulky Pokemon. Next up, we have Mendler the Tornadus. Peep the name. For those that get it, you get a point. There's no actual point system. Just saying, if you just get it, get the nickname reference, then I see that. Tornadus. I basically like Suicune. I did not expect to pick up, but I saw some things that it could be used for. I saw that its ability Prankster. It does get Defiant, but usually when you see Prankster, um, Tornadus mainly is a Tailwinder. It has access to that move. I believe it also gets Defog as far as Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Yeah, so I do have another Defogger, as also within Latios. I hope those two moves would be very good to have because it's able to like give it a hazard on the field, be able to set up Tailwind, be able to double my speed for a few amount of turns. I can Agility if I just want to put on the offense pressure on my own, or I can sub up predicting that a move would be coming in, or he'd be swapping, and I'd get that off before he does something. I do have U-turn, which I'm able to switch out of. I have the Bolt Turn initiative with Thunderous. Oh, not Thunderous. Oh my god, Thunderous last year. Main Electric, and I'd be able to U-turn with Tornadus, so I'd be able to switch out with those two. Does get some pretty good coverage moves. Sludge Wave, Superpower. Does get Taunt, so like Weave Out, I'd be able to taunt very fast, prevent Pokemon from setting up, and do good. Hurricane, this is a little hint for the nickname right here. If you don't understand nickname, think of this word right here, or think of the move right here, Hurricane. Let that sink in, okay? We get knockoff, Foul Play, Grass Knot, Hammer Arm, Heat Wave. All these coverage moves that I do like about Tornadus. It's also a very fast Pokemon. Base 111 speed, so it outspeeds those base 110 Pokemon like Latias, Gengar. I don't think anybody drafted Gengar, but it's good to have just in case. But any of those Pokemon that have base 110 speed, I'm able to outspeed just by a very few. And base special attack of 125, definitely something to be noted, and base 115 attack. The defense, or basically physical defense, is lacking. The special defense is okay, and the HP is neutral, I should say. Now we're done with OU and UU. We move on to the RU, and we'll end off with the NU. Next up, we have Walmaria. I was gonna name this thing Hudson, but I was like, no, Hudson is a Rhydon name. And for those that don't know, Rhydon was my season 1 pick, or trade pick, my free agency pick, and I picked it up, and that's what his name was, but it was a male. So I decided to change up and name her Walmaria. And Vipear, I really wanted to pick up before drafting, because it's able to learn different moves, has a few good abilities. Lightning Rod, I don't see using, but it's good to have for an electric immunity. Though I don't see why you'd run it because of special attack. Solid Rock is definitely good ability because it's able to weaken those super effective moves like the water types, the grass types, the fighting types, and even some of the ice types, because somehow this thing's weak even though it has rock type. And then Reckless, if I believe I do have Head Smash. No, I do not. Is it Double Edge? Yes, I do have Double Edge, so if I somehow decide to ever run that, we got Reckless. But I doubt. Common set you'd see on my period, you definitely see like a bulky set with like Stealth Rocks, Rock Blast, Dragon Tail. And then sometimes you see like running around like a Weakness Policy, Rock Polish set. And then that's what Solid Rock would be for, to take a hit. And then bring Rock Polish with 3 moves, and then you basically sweep a team. What I do like about Rapier, it's a physical defensive wall that I do need. Base 130 defense, base 140 attack. It is one of the highest attacking Pokemon in the RE tier. So I was like, oh, I might as well pick this up. Though its special defense is very low, and also its speed, I definitely do want to use this thing. I did see potential in this thing, so I picked it up. Next up, we have Bayonetta's Serena. Peep the name, also for this one. Serena did get a few changes as far as Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. It did get like Seed Bomb, I believe, and Knockoff, and Leaf Storm. Those few moves that they did get. Seed Bomb, really, I do not expect to use. I'd probably use Chop Kick, which I almost freaked out earlier because whenever I looked at Serena, I did not see Chop Kick right here. So basically, all the way down here is where Chop Kick was. So I almost had a heart attack whenever I didn't see Chop Kick, because that's what his move was. What I did like about Serena, it's a way to counter against the priority Pokemon that have like Quick Attack, Extreme Speed, Aqua Jet, Ice Shard. Those moves do not affect Queenly Majesty because it negates Pokemon from using priority moves. Leaf Guard is okay, but you definitely won't see it, and Sweet Veil prevents sleep. But what I do like about Serena, it does have some low-key, good coverage moves. High Jump Kick, very good. Like I said before, it does get knockoff as far as Ultra Sun. Low Kick, I do not expect using unless if there's a big Pokemon in the way. Play Rough definitely catches a bunch of Pokemon or people off guard because you don't expect this thing if you've never seen it. Basically, a good way to beat the Dragon types, beat Dark types if you do not want to have that chance of getting recoil damage by High Jump Kick for missing. And we do get U-Turn for Switch Initiative, and surprisingly, it also gets Zen Headbutt. So there's fighting types that have spare move like the elemental punches. Those do not have a chance against Zen Headbutt. Apologies. Next up, we have Aquamarine the Feraligatr. I was thinking to myself, why would... Okay, I probably need to change up the name because there are so many Feraligatr names for like a male, so I decided to change it to a different name, put it female, and here we have Aquamarine the Feraligatr. I picked up Feraligatr because I wanted a physical water type Pokemon. People definitely sleep on physical water type Pokemon because the move Scald, basically a physical Pokemon, um, burns that Pokemon and negates them from doing a lot of damage on the physical side. So a physical water type Pokemon you do not see drafted as much unless it's like a Azumarill, Crawdon. Those two Pokemon are mainly drafted. Feraligatr is one of them, but you probably wouldn't have seen it last year. But this game, it gets Liquidation, which basically is a little bit of boost from what it gets from Waterfall. Waterfall is base 80, and now it gets Liquidation, which is 5 power more, does not miss, and you get that 20% chance of defense drop. But if you're running Sheer Force, that negates it, the defense, and that Liquidation becomes a whole lot more powerful. And also, Feraligatr gets different moves like Ice Punch, Superpower, Earthquake, Dragon Claw, or the Dragon moves, Crunch, Brick Break, Shadow Claw, Rock Slide. Definitely some good coverage moves. Um, base 105 attack, base 100 defense. Definitely good Pokemon. It has an okay speed stat for 78. Not that slow. I forgot to explain the stats for Bayonetta. Base 120 attack. When this thing, you definitely not see that high of attack stat, and base 72 speed. Now, for those that don't know, this thing is like mainly bulky, but there's definitely a chance where this thing could run a Scarf and catch people off guard. Because 72 base speed is not something to laugh at. Okay, moving away from RU, we have the NU tier, and next up we have Roadhog, the Ambor. I definitely wanted to pick up a very physical fire type Pokemon. I did not want to run special fire type because I believe I've used all special fire type Pokemon except for last season, which I'd gotten Entei. Yeah, I can't remember who was my. Oh, I got Rotom Heat for season 1. Yeah, so I went 2 special fire types and I went 1 physical last time. So I'm gonna go with another physical fire type because I wanted to catch people off guard. And most of the time, offensive fire types are definitely good for a team. Gets 123 base attack stat. 1 special attack could be useful, though not very expected to use. Base 65 speed is not bad, but not good. If you're like looking for a fast sweeper, excuse me. And base 65 defense and special defense are okay, but not good. But aside from stats wise, the moves that Ember gets are very good. Gets Earthquake, gets Flare Blast, of course. Fire, or not fire, Flame Charge is definitely okay, or definitely a cut-off move that people do not expect to see. Grass Knot is a coverage move that could be against those big, bulky water type Pokemon, water ground Pokemon, like me, like Quagsire, Swampert, those two. It gets Iron Head for some reason. Don't know why you need it. You have Poison Jab right here. Rock Slide. Oh, back to what I was saying about Scald. This thing gets Scald. Do not know how in the world this thing gets Scald, but it gets it. Sucker Punch, Superpower, Thunder Punch, and Wild Charge. What I love about Emboar, the 2 abilities that it has: Blaze, if you want to power up the fire type moves like Flare Blitz, you have Blaze. If you have low AP to get that last hit off, you do a whole bunch of damage. But if you really don't want to take a chance at lower health, you got Reckless, which basically helps out with Flare Blitz, Wild Charge, and for those that don't know, it gets Head Smash. Oh my gosh. Okay, the move that it gets. Very reckless. Get it? Reckless. But definitely cool Pokemon I have on my team. Next up, we have Whitney, the Miltank. I decided to pick this thing up because I wanted some more bulk on my team. I believe this was the last one that I got. That was on the defensive side. Base 105 defense. Definitely good to have on the physical side. Base 100 speed. Definitely surprising how fast this thing is because it's a cow. You do not expect cows to be fast. But it's fine. This thing is base 95 HP, something good to have. Um, A lot of people like to pick up Miltank because it's always a tricky Pokemon for a low tier Pokemon. It gets thick fat, so it's able to eat up those fire and ice type attacks. Scrappy, so bot its normal type moves would be able to hit ghost types. And if you have like a fighting type move, you can hit those ghost dark Pokemon that run around. And Sap Sipper, you basically have a grass immunity on the team, which could help out against Feraligatr and Rhyperior that don't stand a chance against grass types. And you can put it with like a leftovers. You can have like little different weirder sets that could help out Miltank. Does get a bunch of coverage moves like Earthquake, Double Edge Return. Um, gets Heal Bell, so I do have a Cleric in Miltank. Miltank, of course, everybody hates the Miltank from Whitney's gym in Gold and Silver. So Miltank able to heal my HP by half. Definitely has some good coverage moves, like I said before, Ice Punch. All the elemental punches, it gets Iron Head, Rock Slide, Seismic Toss. If you want to be on the bulky set, if you're running a bulky set, you have that move right there. It gets Stealth Rock, so I have a Stealth Rocker within this team. And it surprisingly gets like some special moves that you do not expect it to have. But hey, you got him. And finally, we got a Silgor. I'm thinking of changing the name. If y'all guys have any name suggestions, leave them in the comments. But I just think it's basically named as Krubon because I named that a Silgor. No, my Shelmet in my Pokemon White game. There's no name or lore behind this. I just basically came up with a random name. This is what came out. And that's where we started with Silgor. I basically picked with Silgor because I wanted something that could be hazardous, very fast, and that's basically all I got. A base 145 speed, definitely good for a lead Pokemon. Can set up hazard very fast, be the first in without priority, and have to set up and could possibly switch out. Base 1 is a special attack. People do not realize how high a special attack is, so people don't take advantage of it and basically use it as a lead instead of attacker. It gets hydration, so in rain it gets healed. Sticky hold, not really competitive use because it can't hold an item. And Unburden is something that really did not be needed because it just doubles its speed. And as you can see, it's already fast enough with one of 45 base speed. Like I said before, it does get the hard moves. It gets spikes and toxic spikes. So I'm able to set those up. It gets Bug Buzz, U-Turn, so it could be able to switch out, knock off if I want to knock off an item. And people like to run Final Gambit, max HP, max special attack, or max speed because it's able to knock out a Pokemon and get rid of a possible threat and be able to set off the battle at 5 Pokemon on each side. And I don't know why people would run that, but it's a set, and that's something you can't complain about. It does get Baton Pass, but I believe we have banned that in the WPCL. Sad to say. It gets coverage move like Energy Ball. It does get hidden powers, so I do have a complete set with that. And I get Sludge Bomb if I want to deal Fairy types right off the back. I have that. And I believe that is it as far as my Pokemon. So, oh, completely forgot. It's got Water Shuriken, so I'm able to beat Rock, Ground type Pokemon and Fire type Pokemon. Or I'm able to deal with them with this one move. I have a sort of priority with this Pokemon, as if the thing needed priority. It's 145 base speed. Why would it need priority? But that's basically as far as my team. I hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see y'all next week. What a battle! Andrew, coach of the Amsterdam. Hold on, I'm going to look this up right now. Andrew, coach of the Miami Dolphin, Don fan. And we'll see y'all then. Take care.